Hello and welcome to It's About Youth. I'm your host, Fana Shea, and today I'm joined by two young innovators. Now, Natalie Tham and Ng Wen Kai from Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, APU. They are the top 20 global finalists in the 20th James Dyson Award, an international design competition that celebrates innovative problem solving. And their invention, UNBLOK, uses biodegradable palm oil waste to build an under-the-sink filter that prevents fats, oils and grease from clogging pipes. Super impressive. I'm going to let them take on this question first. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Right, let's talk about your invention here. Can you tell us briefly what UNBLOK is and what first inspired your team to turn something like kitchen or palm oil waste into sustainable drain filter?
Yes, so UNBLOK is a adaptive filters systems that fits under the sinks. It captures fat, oil and grease, and what we call it FOG. And it's a simple design. It's sustainable and completely user-friendly. It's without any using electricity or chemical required. And the inspirations behind of UNBLOK was our love of Malaysian home-cooked cuisines, like fried chickens,
basically
curry.
Everything that uses oil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So, but after we enjoyed those meals, right, we realized that those FOG wash off from our plates into the drains, and it could cause big problems like clogging the pipes, and the worst scenario was causing our waterway sewage systems will become huge pollutants. Yeah.
Right. I guess, Natalie, I'm going to let you take this question. You know, I understand Kai has explained a few of the reasons and inspiration behind this. So tell me a little bit about the invention itself. So what specific problem does UNBLOK aim to solve, and how does the design tackle the issue of for clogging the drains? If you don't mind showing the invention itself, I think we'll be happy to know more.
Sure. So basically, what Kai mentioned just now, we want to tackle the FOG. Let me open this up. So basically what we did is we fill in, the core filter is made out of natural palm fiber.
Right.
So we have another layer of mesh, and then the perforated holes right here. So what it does is, this is where the filters happen. So when the water, your grease, FOG, everything comes in, the palm fiber will soak all of the grease and it will pull at the bottom of the core. And this is where clean water comes out and it flows through the pipe.
Right. I mean, explain to me a little bit about the sustainability aspect of this. Is this thing meaning we have to replace it every now and then when it's clogged up? Or because I cook, so I would love to have this kind of invention at home.
Okay, so to answer that question, we estimated for heavy cooking probably every 2 to 3 weeks of changing. So we are building this whole business model system where when it's full, you just have to take it out the core and bring it to recycling, and the rest of the process we will take care of it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's pretty impressive for, to think about, this kind of thing. We probably, Malaysian users or Malaysian cooks or chefs or, home wives at home are cooking every day, and they don't really realize when they pour the oil down the drain or they pour, whatever wastage down the drain, and it's kind of like a thing that is overlooked when it comes to all this. And the fact that you guys have come out with this invention that looked into how we can prevent a small problem that could get big in the future, right?
Correct.
Right, okay. So talk to me a little bit about the sustainability aspect of it. You guys mentioned a little bit on how the invention works, but how do you integrate environmental responsibility into your design process, and what impact do you hope it achieves in the long run? Especially, now we're talking about circular economy, we're talking about, going green. Anyone can take this.
So first of all, our whole filter core is already made out of 100% natural palm fiber. So it's an abundant byproduct from the palm oil industry. Malaysia is known as the second largest palm oil industry, essentially. So normally what they do now is it's either set to landfills or they just get burned. So instead of doing that, we try to include local raw material that are sustainable and try to make it work with our product. Yes, and I believe Kai have something on circular loop.
And also the closed circular loops is part of our essential core of our UNBLOK. So after the filter core is full, right, the traps of the oil, the fats, oil and grease, right, can be trapped, can be refined into the biofuel, and the fiber itself can be turned into the biofuel pellets, or you can turn into like fertilizer for your home plants as well. And we are not just stop the pollutions, and we are creating a new valuable resources from the agricultural waste for the palm oil industrial.
Right. I mean, to me, it solves a problem that a lot of us don't think of on the daily. And to have something as simple, not simple per se, but to have a design that is simple yet effective is very admirable. So I congratulate you two for coming out with this idea. And I think the James Dyson Award also congratulate you both for being in the top 20 finalists. How does it feel to be among the winners? I understand you guys are the only team from Malaysia to make it in the top 20 list?
Yes, correct.
Yes, correct.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was a really, really honor and proud to be able to come this far. First, we realized we are on the top, we are on the Malaysian's national winners, and it was like a huge surprise. Then we find out ourselves in like top 20. It was like surreal experience. It's such a big like
honor.
Yeah, it's such a big honor and a big way of it's such a big moment for our teams, and also for the representing Malaysia to the global stage. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Natalie? When you found out that you made it to top 20?
At first, I was telling them I need to see like the proper email. I'm like, I need confirmation. Yeah, basically I felt the same as them. Yeah, we couldn't believe it at first.
Yeah, it was so emotional that time. Yeah.
What makes you decide to join competitions such as this? Is it, you know, your passion for innovation, or is it a push from your universities, or is it something that you have an idea and you feel that you need to take it center stage?
So essentially, our university have this James Dyson Hackathon every single year. So this is where we get exposure on James Dyson Award, essentially. So, so we actually know each other for quite a while, and we were like, let's try James Dyson Award this year. And yeah, we started brainstorming. We started our whole design thinking, iterations, and yeah, this is where it got us.
Right. I think for those at home, I think James Dyson is an international competition that looks at different innovation, problem-solving innovation. I think the focus, from what I understand, is all about sustainability. It's all about creating solutions for everyday problems. And these young innovators right here made it out of many innovators that joined. But they are among the top 20 in the finalists. So very proud moment for Malaysia, I feel. Right, let's talk about some of the challenges that you guys face when dealing with, you know, going to the competition, creating the design itself. What has been the biggest challenges in turning, you know, your design or your idea into reality? We could talk about resources, or testing, or getting others to believe in your concept, for example.
So the most issue we face is actually the material itself. We actually we explore a lot of like material from agriculture waste, because agriculture waste is like most abundant in Malaysia, especially for palm oil. And then we got tests like sugar canes and so on to see which have the most effectiveness of capturing the FOG. Then the next challenge is the design. How are we going to use this agriculture waste turn into the filters and into applicable products that can, you know, put in under the sinks, and that makes both of it works, the filter itself and the products. The products, right, not only the efficiency of how the water flow, but also how the user experience on, how to maintain these things, how to be able to replace the core, and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these things, I mean, when it comes to, zero waste systems or circular economy systems, a lot of it, I think, dampens the experience of people to get into it is because it's not user friendly.
Yes.
So people tend to go for something that is less expensive or something that is more user friendly because it's a hassle to do a lot of things that you mentioned just now. So I understand, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of thought process that goes into how to make this item, fit into your kitchen sink and make it easy for people to use on the daily, to replace the filters. So I think it's good that, there's that thought process that goes into this and not just creating something that is sustainable. What about you, Natalie? Do you face any challenges when you are coming up with this project?
We do. Okay, so one of the biggest challenge I feel like is bridging between our vision and with right now the traditional solutions out there. So this conflict between traditional mindsets and the new ways of thinking nowadays. So that's what we try. That's what we are trying to convince people, that we can do both at the same time. Yeah, of course, on funding and access of exposure, I feel like that gave us the opportunity to go further beyond of our critical thinking and to have more creative ways to tackle the problem.
Right. And that mindset change is very important, I feel. And it starts with, young people like you guys highlighting this kind of invention, and, for boomers and millennials, I guess, to look into this and say, hey, maybe we can change our ways and maybe we can look into something that is a bit more long-lasting and a bit more sustainable. We want to talk about the bigger landscape when it comes to innovation and inventors such as yourself, but we'll go for a quick break first. Hello and welcome back to It's About You. Today I'm joined by two young innovators, Natalie and Kai. They invented UNBLOK, basically to help with the drainage issue when it comes to our sinks, all the clogs and the oils that goes into our sink. And in the first part of the show, they managed to show the product itself and explain how it works and the sustainability aspect of it. And they are the top 20 global finalists for the James Dyson Award. And they're the only Malaysian in that list, by the way. So that's very, very impressive. And their invention is something that I think all of us can use in our households. Right. So we talk a little bit about invention. We talk a little bit about James Dyson Award. Now I want to talk a little bit about the bigger picture here, especially when it comes to, young innovators like yourself, right? So from your experience, how has the experience been when it comes to doing this kind of project in terms of support? Do you guys get a lot of, be it government support or industry support or university support when it comes to, young people innovating or developing green technologies such as yourself?
So yeah, we believe they can play a huge role by offering more grants and innovations. That helps students turn their ideas and their prototypes into a real world solving products. And it would be also great to see more industrial partners with universities, which would expose students to practical real world design challenge. And one of the experience we have at the hackathons is like giving one of the best opportunity to participants. So I think it should be more implement on that, so that more young inventor can be able to participate in these opportunities. And of course, expanding the mentorships, especially in those like academic institutions, networking and celebrates innovation success, like James Dyson's what we do here, and it's also very important to spark young people to make that idea tangible outcomes. Yeah.
Right. Can I ask personally, from your experience, what has helped the most when it comes to realizing your idea into reality, in terms of, you know, the support that you get? What has helped move the needle?
For us, first of all, our mentor actually played a big role in this whole process. He was, I can say, he's really experienced in this field. So he actually gave us a lot of insight, a lot of suggestions, and we actually work closely together. And this is where, yeah, most of our support in this success of this product.
Right, so mentorship is one of the key issue that you mentioned just now when it comes to, you know, a lot of young students wanting, because I'm pretty sure a lot of young people have great ideas, but they just don't know where to start, right?
Correct.
They don't know what's the first step or how do we move forward. So having the kind of mentorship like both of you did would probably help in terms of just to get the ball rolling, right? Right. Okay, that's very fair. So when we talk about, you know, the innovation ecosystem here in Malaysia, do you think it's moving in the right direction, or what would you like to see change to help, you know, more young people like yourself to come up with ideas like UNBLOK?
So honestly, I would say you have to start with curiosity. So those curiosity, right, is like for us, we want to see how far our ideas goes, and to share our stories behind why we built it in the first place. And we believe that idea could make difference, that solve the real world problems. So the James Dyson stood out for us is because it's more than just a competitions, right? And it's the moments that celebrates creative problem solvings that's really resonate with us, right? And like UNBLOK, it was a perfect fit because it's practical human-centered solutions and everyday problems that is often overlooked. Yeah. Right.
Natalie, what about you? When we talk about the innovation ecosystem here in Malaysia, what do you think are some missed opportunity that probably either young people or other innovators or government or universities can help fill in? What do you think, say, not particularly, not just support, but is it more competition? Is it more exposure? Is it more training? Is it more investment into STEM? What do you think?
For me, okay, besides resource, I feel like what's important is you have to start with mindset. You don't need really fancy technologies or facilities to make it work. You just need to start, and you will see what works, what doesn't. And also, right now in product design, I feel like sustainability should be something that is implemented. Malaysia has been quite active in this topic nowadays. Not even just the product itself, I feel like the whole manufacturing process should be considered in sustainability, considering it's a global crisis as well on the environmental impact these days.
Yes. Right. I mean, I think that draws into my next question actually. Beyond, you know, your own project here, how do you hope innovations like UNBLOK can inspire a wider movement among Malaysians or young people with regards to, you know, thinking a bit more about sustainability and doing it creatively? Maybe Natalie, we can draw on from what you said just now.
First of all, I feel like you have to start with empathy. So when you have empathy, then you will understand the real problem, and that is where you design with intention. That is where you'll find clarity with your momentum. And I believe with the proper approach and perspective, you'll step by step you'll reach where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Right. I like that. I mean, it's easy to think that, you know, it's a small problem, but you don't know that probably a lot of households in PPR or a lot of B40 households might need this kind of invention, to probably not call the plumbers so much, or probably save their money to invest elsewhere, and not look at drainage or oil or clogged pipe as a problem because they have this kind of invention. So yeah, starting with empty, that's a very good answer, I feel. Right, Kai, you've gained international recognition through the James Dyson Award with this invention. So what's next for UNBLOK? Do you plan to scale it up or commercialize or expand or refine it? What's in the pipeline?
Definitely next step would to make our products more feasible, like because currently is prototypes, so we need to replace the actual materials, like make it more durable. And like perforated sheets we can turn into like stainless steel and so on. They can be able to last longer. And of course, for commercialized wise, we would like to promote, like we need the industrials to work in the ecosystem with us, like collecting points, like so that's able to make these circular loops works. Yeah.
Sorry, can I add on? So the whole idea that we want to see UNBLOK next is we hope that through UNBLOK we can encourage and raise awareness on sustainable waste management in your homes through our design. Yes.
Right. Right. I mean, and it's important as a first step, I think, for young innovators to spearhead this kind of thinking and creativity. So that the future generation can take this on and look into this kind of problems with another lens as opposed to what we already have right now. You mentioned sustainability being core to what we're discussing now, but I think the younger generation are really spearheading some of the movements when it comes to green economy, sustainability, circular economy. I feel that young people are really doing the most here when it comes to all this, so I applaud you too for your efforts. Right, we're running out of time, so I'm only left with one last question. That is advice you give to other young Malaysians who want to make a difference through innovations such as yourself. What would that be? If they don't know where to start, where to go, take it away.
I would definitely say 3 keywords, the three takeaways. So first, you have to start small, stay curious, and just begin. Okay, this is 3 of the words. So our entire journey starts with something that is so simple, and as solving just the clock itself, like under the kitchen sinks. Sometimes the greatest ideas is just hidden in the problems that might get overlooked oftenly, and always stay curious. We solve one problem, the clog of our pipes, and another problem is the agricultural waste, which is palm oil industrial, and just ask, what if? The question, what if? What if one could solve another problems? So that is where we come up with the quotes for that, using problem to solve the problems. And asking a simple questions, that is the key. So, of course, the lastly I would say is just begin. Honestly, we just try everything else, like try and error, fail a lot of times, but we, it's the resilience. We just keep going, and don't be afraid if it doesn't work perfectly at the first times, because ours didn't, and every try and error always definitely teach you something new. And it's part of the process. You have to embrace that, and it's always going through the journey. You have to just stay focused on the track. Just be mindful. Like, have to believe that track is correct. It's just part of the journey, and so just start it and see what it takes you. Definitely, yeah.
So just do it, learn from your mistakes, as well as a small ripple can make a big wave.
Yes,
correct.
Natalie, let's end it with you. What's your advice for young Malaysians who would like to be innovators today?
I feel like Kai covered everything quite well.
Maybe we can do one briefly. If you have one advice.
Maybe don't. Okay. We probably tend to overthink. You do more thinking rather than doing. I feel like you can just start, and along the way you can find out what works and what doesn't. And that's where one thing also important, share your ideas. Someone might give you useful ideas, some might give you ideas that could actually implement it. So I feel like get a team. That's like a really important support system, and to have idea building on idea. Yes.
Right. So seek for feedbacks and discussions, and also, like you said just now, I think the key message here is just do it. Just start.
Yeah, just do it.
You know, you might not think that, you know, a small idea can turn into anything, but if you don't start, you know, you'll never know, right? And it's okay to fail, as long as, you know, you learn from your mistakes. Definitely some good advice for young innovators out there who would want who have ideas and want to make it into a reality, who wants to solve problems and who wants to think creatively but don't know where to start. So definitely good advice from the both of you, and I congratulate both of you again for being the top 20 finalists for such a prestigious award with your invention UNBLOK, that I hope one day I will see it in everyone's under sink, so including myself. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being on the show. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for those at home. I'm Finashe. Thank you for watching.